What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Spicy Adventures. Right now, you're looking at my FL5. So you might think I'm going to be driving the FL5, but I'm actually not going to. Oh, Super Duke. That sounds good. But yeah, as to what I was saying, there's a car that is behind my car that I'm gonna get to experience and do a first drive on. Here's the key fob, just to kind of give you an indication of what I might be driving here. Can you guess what it is yet? It's a car I almost bought before the Type R. I never got a chance to test drive one though. I had a test drive set up, but I ended up having a test drive on my Type R instead. So I ended up buying the Type R and never got to drive what is behind my car, which is, ta-da, right here. This is the 2025 GR Corolla. You can always tell when it's the 2025 because it's got the different front fascia on it. This is the base model. As you can see, it doesn't have the vents on the hoods and stuff, but still nonetheless a cool, very, very cool car. Riding 2 up. It's got the slick 6-speed manual in it, you know, your manual e-brake. One of the few cars that still has a manual e-brake. There's my buddy David, and there's that Audi TT I drove, and now it's got new rims and tires, so I can't wait to re-drive this car with some sticky rubber on it. Like my first test drive on it was pretty hilarious because it was just kind of squealing all over the place with, you know, those Toyos it had. But now it's got some Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, with some aftermarket wheels here, and yeah, I think it looks really good with this wheel setup. Makes it look kind of rally car-ish, and makes it look like a little tough car. And yeah, we'll see what that one can do in the near future as well. As for now, this is straight stock, straight off the showroom floor. They've only owned it for about a couple of weeks, and so it's got stock everything: stock tires, stock brakes, yeah, stock fluid. It's not even really broken in yet. The engine doesn't even have 600 miles. I think it's only got like 300 miles on it. So yeah, so on this test drive, be taking it a little bit easy, not going too ham because the mileage is still low. But yeah, I'm excited. Check out the trunk space for you guys. It's got a big old hey, this speaker is not for this car, right? Yeah, okay. It's just stored back there. It's just stored back there, yeah. So this kicker is just kind of stored back here for now. But as you can see, it fits a full-size speaker box. That's good news. I'm sure with the seats folded down, you could fit a ton more stuff back here. But yeah, it's a little tight, I think, but it'll work. It'll work for being a daily driver. Not quite as spacious as the FL5. As you can see, the FL5 is a much bigger car. I don't have my key on me. David has it, so. Oh wow, nothing works when the key is not close. But yeah, but you guys know what the back of the FL5 looks like. Well, yeah, 2025. 3 cylinders, 300 horsepower, all-wheel drive. Let's see how it compares to the FL5, huh? Oh, I like how it still has a natural keyhole. So that's pretty cool. Initial thoughts, interior wise, is pretty plush. The seat sits pretty high. I'm gonna lower it. That's the lowest it'll go, I guess, right there. So not as low as the FL5, but Really good visibility. I like the A-pillars here, and I love this little window cutout. That's really good. Oh, the mirror is swept differently from most mirrors. Most mirrors will sweep down like this, but this one kind of sweeps up. That's kind of cool. I like that. Shift knob feel is good. I prefer the FL5 over this, but this feels okay. I don't really like this flat top very much. It doesn't make it feel very natural to hold it like the FL5 does, but nonetheless, it's leather wrapped with some like maybe aluminum or titanium on it, so that's kind of cool. Here's the little control button, the rev matching feature, drive modes, all that kind of stuff. So I want to definitely compare the auto rev matching of this car with the FL5, because I absolutely love the way the FL5 auto rev matches. So we'll see if I'm just as impressed or not by this car. Let me get a little bit closer. Manual seats, which is nice. Okay, got some beeping going on. Pretty cool gauge cluster. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but let me kind of get my head down. Yeah, GR4 normal drive modes. There's sport, normal, eco. But you can kind of hear some stuff going on when you move it around. That's pretty cool. So that's the rev match. With you push the IMT button, it lights up. That means that it's activated. Yeah, we'll start off in normal mode, and let's see how she feels in normal mode. Oh man, I sure do miss a manual handbrake. Although I've gotten used to the FL5's electronic brake, this still feels very natural, very good to use. All right, so let's go. Let's see what she does. Gearbox feels pretty good. Okay, let's go. The clutch is stiff, but vague, I should say. I mean, that's like all cars nowadays. It's just how vague clutches feel. Nothing feels like that engaging anymore. When it comes to steering, when it comes to throttle, when it comes to even clutch feel, you know, everything is so like numbed down. It's kind of sad to see. The throw is definitely longer than the Type R. Let me roll up the windows here so we don't get so much wind noise. The shift throw is definitely longer than the FL5 Type R. Boy, in normal mode, this steering is so vague. I cannot feel anything at all. That's pretty bad. I mean, it's great for putting around town, but out here in the twisties like this, oh man, I cannot tell what my front wheels are doing. It's yeah, like I said, around town this is very acceptable, I would say, but out here, no way. Okay, let's get out of this mode. Let's go to sport. That changes the gauge cluster, and the steering is a little bit tighter now. Still feels kind of vague, but a little bit better than before. So not great, but not absolutely terrible either. I definitely prefer the FL5 steering. Even the FL5 in sport mode feels a little more natural than this. It has a little more feedback. I'm in third right now. It's got decent little torque. Just in third, just putting around like this with the RPMs down around like 2,500 RPM. There's the auto rev matching system. It's good. It's good. Oh, the turbo is loud on this thing. My FL5 definitely was not this loud stock to stock. I had to add my PRL stage 1 intake to get any sense of noise, at least coming through the cabin. But the GR has it pretty naturally, so that's kind of cool. That's a big plus. I like that a lot. That the turbo noises are there, and no fake engine noise. So good job, Toyota, not having any fake engine noise. I think that speaks pretty good volumes there. The wheelbase, you could definitely feel how short the car is compared to my FL5. Initially it feels a little dartier, I want to say. Again, I'm going pretty slow right now, but just on these initial turns here, it reacts on a dime. So that's cool. Man, would I have been happy if I bought this car? I don't know, you know. I haven't really got to drive it yet because of this slow ass SUV in front of me. Oh, good brakes. Good brakes. I love the low rumble of this car. The low rumble is very nice. I'll let this Porsche guy by. I'll let this Porsche guy by because there's really nothing to do. Oh, passing double yellow, guy. That's why people die. And that's why people die right there. Oh, I like how it lights up when you step on the brakes. That's kind of cool. There's two little red lights that light up, showing that you are on the brakes. So I like that. All right, let's hit it here a little bit and see what happens. A lot of lean. The car sure does lean. I know my FL5 is lowered, right, with very stiff, Swift Spec R springs and spring rates, and I know this is stock, but I didn't expect it to feel this kind of soft. It's an even in, and you know it doesn't have adaptive suspension, so this is just the way it feels. Got a bicyclist here. That's why you don't go ham. You don't want to hit these guys. See how it feels on the first tandem around these corners. Oh, slight understeer already. Not liking that. Slight understeer there already. There's a balloon or something floating. Oh, you can definitely feel this car understeer when you start to get on the throttle. How about off throttle? Off throttle, it rotates. Okay. Off throttle, it rotates. on throttle, this thing really kind of pushes into the corners. Quite a bit more understeer than I would like. With this all-wheel drive platform, you can kind of feel all the wheels pulling. And yeah, so you can feel the push from behind, and you can also feel the wheels pulling from the front. And that front wheel pull is what's causing the car to kind of not want to turn and understeer, especially mid-corner. Coming out of corners, it just wants to just push out and not hold the line. Like I said, I'm just doing this at slower speeds, and I could kind of feel what it was doing there. So oh, nice Lotus Elise there. Oh, nah, this guy is just terribly slow. I'm gonna pull out of the way because this guy is just not doing his job at driving. That guy's so bad. Like, seriously, come on, man. You can't be that slow. Give it a little bit of a pull here. Yeah, it's not fast, I'll tell you that. My FL5 pulls way harder than that. Yeah, the Civic Type R pulls way harder than this. Yeah, it I mean, it's a little underwhelming for me, but it's got good power, but I wouldn't say it's fast. Like my Type R, like when you get in it and you start pushing like that and you start getting on the throttle, like you really feel the car pull. But in this GR platform, it just kind of flattens out. Of course, it's got very good initial get up and go because of the all-wheel drive system. But when it comes to actual power and moving forward, it doesn't feel like it's doing a whole lot. I mean, I know it's only got 300 miles on it, right? It's not even like broken in yet. Oh, there's that green BMW I spoke the other day. But again, I'd like it to do something a little more than that. You know, that was a little underwhelming for me. Yeah, that was a little underwhelming for me. So we'll let that Corolla get ahead a little bit while we talk a little bit. But yeah, so initial thoughts are not as engaging as the FL5. Feels refined though. I'd like the way it feels when you're sitting in it. You know, it doesn't feel like, I mean, it's an econo box, right? So it doesn't feel high end, but it doesn't feel like it's shit, like put together wise. Like, you know, it still feels like it's a well put together machine. But and the seats are pretty cool, but again, when it comes to just the overall feel of the car, like touch feel and just look wise, I definitely prefer the FL5 over the GR Corolla interior 100%. I think Honda knocked it out of the park with their layout. You know, I like the infotainment better here than I do on the FL5, because the FL5 looks like it just kind of tacked on to the dash, and I don't like that at all. So I like how this one is a little bit more integrated into the dash, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, you know, it's all right. You know, I don't hate it, I don't love it. That's kind of how I thought I would feel about the GR Corolla, and it's kind of like right on the spot. I hope I get a nice little stretch here in a little bit, to at least push it a little bit around some of these corners to see what the brakes kind of feel like, and, you know, see what the initial habits are of the car. And yeah, let's see what it kind of does. I think it's time to go. I think we gave them enough time. Yeah, we're good. That throw is a little longer than I want it to be. It's precise though. Okay, the rev matching system is pretty good. There's the tail end kind of coming around a little bit. So the steering is just, it's so vague. I really do not like the steering. It feels a little too lazy for me. Almost feels like how my Type R feels in comfort. I like the way the engine sounds though. It's got a unique tone. So I really appreciate Toyota for that. Very good sounding engine. Suspension feels really good over bumps as well. It soaks them up really well. Yeah, the rev matching system's good. I like it. I like it just as much as I do the FL5. There, see, it kind of understeers entering into the corner, and then by modulating kind of the throttle, it starts to rotate a bit, and that's okay. You know, I wish I had more initial rotation, because you know, it feels a little scary coming into a corner because it just pushes into the corner, and then it starts to rotate like right here, and then it brings you around. So here I'm trail braking in. See right there when I let off the trail brake, then it finally turned in. Like, it doesn't really turn in under trail braking at all. Massive understeer under trail braking. Right there, see, it's just kind of pushing. It's got a lot of grip, but I kind of want it to. There it is. There's the rotation. There it is. That's a little better. That's better. Just got to modulate the throttle a little bit. It does feel very natural to drive faster. When you're going slow, the car feels so artificial. But now that I'm picking up the pace a little bit, it feels more like a car now, and not so much like a computer. You know, so I like that. That's good. But then that eggs you on to like drive it harder and drive it faster, which isn't always the safest thing to do, especially if you're inexperienced. So I feel like there's a lot of people that can get in trouble with this car thinking that they have the all-wheel drive system to save them, but the understeer can really bite you in the butt if you're not modulating the throttle correctly and the brakes. So we're gonna come down here to the stop sign. Let's test these brakes. Be third gear, downhill, coming in hot. Didn't even switch gears. Pretty good. I like that. The brakes are cherry. The brakes are very good. Up to par with the FL5, I must say. Very much up to par. Very solid. I didn't feel the ABS kick in at all there. I wish I wasn't like fully braking. I was just kind of giving it a big heavy dose of braking, but it was still good. All right, here's my little favorite downhill section. See what it kind of does, how it kind of handles these corners. Very nice auto rev match there. So it handles this hairpin. Not too too shabby. Yeah, it slips and slides a little bit. That's kind of fun. I like that. Trail brake, let off, go. Yeah, okay. Getting a little bit. A little push there, but not bad. I love the vision out of this window though. That is way better than the FL5. That vision looking left is very good. You can really see where you're going to the left. On my FL5, almost I have to like lean to the right to see out the left. And with the GR, I can just look out the window and I can see everything. That's excellent job, Toyota, there. Caught up to the scooter here, unfortunately. I won't get to hammer it here like the way I want to. But yeah, yeah, you know, like I said, the car doesn't have that many miles, right? So I don't want to, you know, pound on it, because, and plus it's not my car, you know, so I don't want to abuse somebody else's car. You know, I respect cars and their owners, you know, but I will, you know, test them out and get a feel for what they're actually trying to do. See, it's only got 329 miles on this bad boy, so, you know, I don't want to overdrive it, you know, because it hasn't had an oil change yet. It's still got the initial oil in it. So yeah, so that's that, and I don't want to, you know, do any more to it than I'm doing right now. And I feel like, you know, I've been able to get a good feel for it already. Let's see how it handles these little switchbacks at a decent pace. See what she does. It's got a lot of grip, but the grip is kind of funny, you know. It kind of does this thing where it and finding second gear when going slow is kind of hard. I've gone into fourth a couple times now, and yeah, you know, so is that reverse? Do I have to lift? Nope. Where's the reverse is forward? Okay, it's German style. It's Audi German style. When did Toyota do that? If you guys know when Toyota started doing that with their reverse, leave a comment below, because I don't ever remember Toyota doing that. Yeah, but so yeah, shifting the gearbox is good. Not as good as the FL5. Not as good as the FL5, but it's good. I like it. It's direct. The throw is a little too long. I like the placement of the FL5 shifter a little bit more. The FL5 sits a little higher, because the console sits a little higher and you sit a little lower. So I think that plays in balance a little bit better than what the Corolla does. But this feels very hefty, like you're not going to mischief like you would in the FL5, if that makes sense. It feels very reminiscent of my younger brother's 350Z. It's notchy and precise, where the FL5 is not as notchy. It's a smoother, shorter, quicker throw, but it feels more fragile in the Honda. And in the Toyota, gearbox is It feels hefty, it feels beefy, like you can kind of beat on it a little bit. You can shift it harder and not be as delicate. Rev matching system I felt was pretty darn good, up to par with the FL5. When you shift it and it auto blips, it's very smooth as well. If anything, it might be a little smoother on that aspect than it is on the FL5, because sometimes the FL5, you get little hops and bumps when it just seems like the car is not quite ready for it sometimes. But when the car is ready, it is super smooth, and I felt like the rev matching system on the FL5 is a little more aggressive than it is on the GR Corolla. But other than that, the GR Corolla's rev matching system is pretty flawless. It's pretty good. You don't have to do anything funny with it. You just do it. And the natural heel toe position here is a little weird. Like the gas pedal, I feel, is too low. Like I'm blipping my heel over right now while hitting the brake, right? And you have to get pretty deep into the brake to rev match it. Like you got to get really deep for it to feel like kind of natural. So I appreciate the rev matching system in this one as well. I didn't get to check and try the GR4 drive system here, but GR4 track, GR4 normal, GR4 gravel. So that's very cool. But maybe on another episode when they get more miles into it, I'll be able to. So when you push it, it goes to track, and when you turn it, it goes to gravel or normal. So you can't get to track until you push down. When you push down, then it goes into track mode, which becomes a 50-50 split, I believe. So overall, I'm glad I bought my FL5 Type R versus the GR Corolla. Would I have hated this? No. Would I have loved it? No. And that would have been the problem that I would have had. Of course, the one that I would have drove would have been the core model, or not the core model. That would have been like the premium one with the scoops on the hoods and whatever model that one is, right? The one that's like over 40 grand, because this one's under 40 grand, right? So that's a good bargain, that this car is under 40 grand MSRP, right? Whereas my FL5 used was 42, right? And then MSRP is 47 roughly, but you're good luck finding one in California for 47. Overall value is there. This car has great value. It's got decent amount of power. The power doesn't scare me like the FL5 does. The FL5 power kind of scares me when it starts to get going and it starts really pulling in the higher RPMs. Man, the FL5 like launches and takes off, but this car kind of falls flat. I would love to feel what this car is like when it's got more miles and more broken in. Maybe then it'll liven up a little bit. But like I said, as a package deal, you get all-wheel drive, you get a slick 6-speed manual. Don't get the automatic, you guys. The automatic is terribly slow. I don't know why Toyota made this in an automatic. If they did, they should have made it ECT. But again, I understand if they made it ECT, it would have made the price really high. So they made this automatic that is not very good at all. And so if you're gonna get the GR, get it in a manual. If you don't know how to drive stick, learn. One of the few cars you can get, like I said, in a manual still, with a manual e-brake as well. I mean, this platform is pretty rare now, and I would have to say that this Toyota platform is probably the most rare because of the 3 cylinders it has and the all-wheel drive. There's no other car out on the road being sold right now that has this, so this is very unique. I like that about it, but it doesn't feel special like the FL5 does. It's very fun, but it just feels like another car to me, albeit a very good car. But it's not something that I would want to spend my hard-earned money on, making a payment every month on, or hashing out a big chunk of cash for this car. I would not. I wouldn't mind having this, buying a used one in the future, right? As like a daily driver. I think that'd be really, really sweet. Because it definitely has that going for it. I think this thing would be an excellent daily driver because its suspension is dialed. It is good for being stock. It's very good. It's very communicative. It soaks up bumps. It understands what the body is doing. It controls the body roll well, and it's comfortable. Like, it's not harsh. My FL5, you know, even in stock form, I've seen the videos, right? I mean, I never driven my FL5 stock because it wasn't stock when I bought it, but you know, even in stock form, the FL5 is over damped, right? Like, it's so bouncy everywhere. The Corolla just feels like it has a nice little sweet spot with this suspension. It's stiff, but good and very compliant. So yeah, so with that being said, let's take one last look at this GR Corolla from the outside, and you guys can get your thoughts in on if this is something that you guys would think about. Look wise, right? Looks are always subjective. I love the way that the FL5 looks. I love this new front bumper on the GR though. I think that is really good looking front bumper. I just don't like the headlights so much, and then the tail lights I don't like that much either on the GR. I like the lower section, but then that middle section of the headlights just doesn't really do it for me. The windshield is very sloped, but it's still visually very good. But yeah, but look wise, I definitely prefer the FL5. Gosh, the GR is so tall. It looks like it has more headroom, but it kind of doesn't, which is weird. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I hope to bring more drive along reviews of this GR when it starts to break in a little bit more, and you know, we can start to push it and feel more of its characteristics a little bit closer to them. It's like right now it's probably driving only 4 or 5 tenths, maybe not even, right? I'd like to carry it to 6 or 7 tenths out here the way I can drive the FL5. So when that day comes, we'll post another video, and yeah, until then, be waiting for that episode, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.